Once upon a time, there was a lone cowboy who set out to get revenge. Like a bloodhound, he scoured the West, determined to find the man who robbed him, come hell or high water. And while this cowboy was just a little guy, he'd end up making some big choices on his journey that changed his story in downright mystifying ways. Setting off across the dusty West, he knew that if he played his cards right, one day he'd find that varmint and give him exactly what he had coming to him. A familiar face. I never thought I'd see you again. At a crossing in the road, a lone gunman riding a black horse meets your gaze. He speaks through a cigarette hanging from his mouth. Morning! Wait, you know him. When you were 6, he wooed your mom, killed your dad, and kicked your dog. He asks, do I know you? Show him something to remind him who you are. You gesture to your horse. Remember her? He turns to face you, but doesn't look scared. I remember that horse. You need a younger horse to catch me. Get a new ride and maybe you'll get your revenge. As he rides off, your shaking fist slowly unclench. Next time. Hanging in town. They're hanging a criminal in the town square. The criminal is about to be hung by the sheriff. They look kind of sad about the whole thing. You have a front row seat and grab your... You ride your horse through the gallows and rescue the criminal while getting shot at. Shooting contest. Some sharpshooters are gathered around. Gathered around an old fence post is a group of sharpshooters, twirling their guns and stroking their chins. You step forward and they eye you down real good. You attempt to show off your skills with your... You offer whiskey to your fellow sharpshooters. They happily accept, guzzling it down, and proceed to miss every shot of the night. While they nap, you make away with their cash. Busy saloon. Looks like a pretty popular place. As soon as you saunter in, the place immediately goes silent. The bartender looks you square in the eyes. We don't just let anyone in here. You go to prove your grit and reach for your... You try to show your cowboy credentials with your horse, but it gets stuck in the saloon swinging doors. It becomes a whole situation. How embarrassing. Haunting. It's late, but you can't quite get to sleep. You're visited in the night by a visage of your parents and your dog. They're silent, but you can feel their pride and support in your quest for revenge. They reach out, and you can feel they want to help. What will you upgrade? As you show them your horse, everything goes white and you wake up. You're sad to leave the dream, but as you prep to get back on the road, you notice your horse has become a purebred stallion. A stranger in town. They look a little tipsy. The stranger starts rambling about different nearby happenings. Which story you're interested in hearing about? Supposedly, there's gonna be a rodeo soon. Oasis, a little slice of paradise. After a long trek through the desert, you stumble onto a pool of clear blue water, surrounded by shrubs. There's little critters around, too. You take a drink from the pool and feel refreshed. You're grateful this wasn't a mirage. Friendly poker game. Doesn't seem that friendly. As you show your hand, the dude across the table springs out of his chair and points his finger at you. This good-for-nothing skunk has the same cards as me! Thinking quickly, you grab your... Before you can respond, the ceiling beam splinters and breaks. With a sickening thud, the roof caves in. Everyone except you is crushed to death. Whoops! Cathartic confession. Process your past with a professional. You wake up in a decaying chapel. The roof is falling apart and the pews are all rotten. The confession booth is the only thing in pristine shape. Something calls you towards it. A priest welcomes you. Have a seat and confess. Let me take your struggles and break them apart. You recall the long list of ways you've mistreated your dead body. The priest laughs an inappropriate amount as you speak. You think of your favorite parts of your dead body. Campfire. A nice warm campfire. Your legs are achy after a tough day on the road. You strike up a small campfire and take a load off. You can't explain why, but something about this place makes you feel totally rejuvenated. You wonder if there's magic afoot. Traveling salesman. Lots of interesting wares for sale. His wagon is open and displaying a variety of Western wares for sale. Something catches your eye. You walk over to the salesman and hope to make a trade. What will you offer? You hand over your nice leather wallet. This is a nice wallet, fella. He hands you some cash, which you stuff into your pockets. A second chance. Don't waste it this time. Toward the end of a long day's trek through the desert, you stop on the side of the road for a bathroom break. Partway through, you turn around and notice the gunmen passing you on their horse. You stop with a shudder and try to steel yourself. He hasn't seen you, and you can't waste another chance at getting your revenge. Take a moment and plan your move. How will you kill the gunman? You decide you're not ready to take on the gunman alone and ask your dead body for help. Together you sneak up to the edge of his camp, being very careful not to make a sound. You look over at your dead body, and just them being there is enough to assure you. You give him a quick signal, then circle around to the other side of the campfire to trap the gunman. On your way over, your dead body stumbles out into the campfire light and into view. You freeze in place. The gunman whips out an oversized revolver and blasts your dead body without missing a beat. Bang! They're dead instantly. You cower behind some rock until the gunman packs out and then weep a while over your dead body. You take your things. Ooh! Farm work. Looks like the farmer could use some help. As you make your way past the lone farm, you spot a farmer standing on the edge of the property. He calls you over and tells you he's looking for help. He smiles and asks, "What can you do for me, partner?" You have a friendly chat with the farmer, who invites you inside to sample his new moonshine recipe. You wake up in the barn with a splitting headache. Ouch! Friendly poker game. Doesn't seem that friendly. As you show your hand, the dude across the table springs out of his chair and points his finger at you. This good-for-nothing skunk has the same cards as me! Thinking quickly, you grab your... You shift the blame to your bandit and keep playing a few more hands. Traveling salesman. Lots of interesting wares for sale. His wagon is open and displaying a variety of Western wares for sale. Something catches your eye. You walk over to the salesman and hope to make a trade. What will you offer? Your poker chip is enough for a small rope. He hands it over. That's all. Campfire. A nice warm campfire. Your legs are achy after a tough day on the road. You strike up a small campfire and take a load off. You can't explain why, but something about this place makes you feel totally rejuvenated. You wonder if there's magic afoot. Wagon in danger. They could use some help. Tracing the top edge of a mesa, you come across a covered wagon teetering over the cliff's edge. There's a handful of people trapped inside. You can hear the wood stretching and creaking. There's only time to save one person before the wagon tumbles into the canyon. Who do you save? You barely manage to grab Old Baron before the wagon falls over the cliff. In the process, your finger gets caught in a wagon wheel and gets ripped off.
Ow!
Traveling salesman. Lots of interesting wares for sale. His wagon is open and displaying a variety of Western wares for sale. Something catches your eye. You walk over to the salesman and hope to make a trade. What will you offer? You offer the salesman your money in exchange for some much-needed Western gear. Busy saloon. Looks like a pretty popular place. As soon as you saunter in, the place immediately goes silent. The bartender looks you square in the eyes. We don't just let anyone in here. You go to prove your grit and reach for your... You lasso the bottle right out the bartender's hands with your lasso. You smile and pour 2 drinks, one for you and one for the bartender. The tension dissipates and things go back to normal. Oasis, a little slice of paradise. After a long trek through the desert, you stumble onto a pool of clear blue water surrounded by shrubs. There's little critters around too. You take a drink from the pool and feel refreshed. You're grateful this wasn't a mirage. Fortune teller. See your future for a price. A shrouded figure beckons to you from the back of a ramshackle wagon. I've been waiting for you, little one. Your future is clouded, yes? Give me 2 cards and I'll ask the spirits to combine them into one. Entranced, you gaze into their crystal ball as your destiny comes into focus. You head to the tragic accident and show off with your lasso. Everyone loves it and wants to go home with you. Traveling salesman. Lots of interesting wares for sale. His wagon is open and displaying a variety of Western wares for sale. Your poker chip is enough for a small rope. He hands it over. That's all. All aboard! An old cowboy's getting ready to leave town. As you make your way through the train stop, an older cowboy meets your gaze and waves you over. He tells you he's had enough of this hooting and hollering cowboy life and that he's hanging up his hat and boots for good.
The last straw was when my shooting finger got shot clean off in my last duel. With that one gone too, I can't even shoot lefty no more. He's getting rid of all of his old cowboy things for some sense of closure and offers you a choice between his favorite things. His train is getting ready to leave, so choose quickly. They hand you their
Gold gun.
reluctantly. Do me a favor and keep this in your holster, kid. I don't want anybody else dying because of this here.
Gold gun.
He sighs deeply as he steps aboard the train.
The final encounter. Your adventure ends here, one way or another. On a supply run in town, you're stopped by a postman. He says he has a message for you from someone called the Gunman. You open the letter and discover it's an invite. Tonight at sunset, the gunman will be waiting for you at the mountain, El Typo. He wants to settle this once and for all. Kill or be killed. Use the rest of the day to plan your final showdown. On your way to El Typo, you clean your gold gun and give it a test shot. When you arrive, the gunman is sitting on a rock near the summit looking westward. You silently nod and then get into position. It's hot and there's sweat on your brow, but your hands are steady. You turn around and take 10 steps and stand still. You think of your parents and your dog and visualize your draw, aim, and fire. On 3, you both draw your gold gun and fire in the span of a blink. The shots ring out together. Bang! A sharp pain tells you you're hit, left shoulder, not close to your heart. You hit the gunman in the neck. He's quick to grab the wound, but it's too late. He grumbles some final words as he bleeds out. Sorry about your dog. That wasn't cool. You got revenge, partner.